So the materials you're going to need for this video will be linked in the description. I based this pillow on a pillow that I got from IKEA that was about 16 inches wide. And that's basically the example that I'm going to use for my pillow. You can use any size pillow for an example. That's just the one that I chose. This is my bin of scrap fabrics. I'm basically going to go through these and figure out what I want to use. I'm really looking for larger pieces for the top and bottom pieces of the pillow, and I'm also looking for long pieces for the sides of the pillow. The dimensions that I went with for the top and bottom squares were 17 by 17, about 17 by 17. It wasn't that exact. This square is one of the pieces that I want to use for the top or bottom, so I'm basically just trying to get it to the length that I want, which is 17 inches. So I got another piece of fabric and I'm going to sew those pieces together. Lay them on top of each other, right sides together. Then you're going to sew along the edge. So I noticed that it was shorter than I wanted, the piece that I sewed onto the square that I wanted. So I'm just finding another piece of scrap fabric to make up for what's lost there. So I'm going to sew along the top edge, and I'm also going to sew along one of the sides. And that's how it should look. Now you're just gonna cut off the excess. Now for your second square, find more pieces of scrap fabric that you want, and then just cut it to the correct size, which is about 17 inches. So you're going to do the same exact thing, put the right sides of the fabric together and then sew them together. So now this is just me making sure that the squares are about the same. This isn't like a professional pillow, so I'm gonna get it as close as possible, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it being exact. Okay, so now for your sides, you're gonna need 4 sides. My sides were 18 inches by 4 inches, and this is me just cutting out the first side. I like to cut off the raw edges because I don't really like them. And just repeat the same process for each side. The thing that I did was I just folded the material that I wanted to use and then cut it the same exact length as the first one, but like the folded version, I guess. And now I'm just making sure that they are the same. So this is what all your pieces should look like. This is me. Alright. So anyway, now what you're gonna do is lay your side pieces, take 2 side pieces and put them on top of each other, right sides together, and then sew it. And then just repeat the same process for each side piece. Side piece. Now this is what all your pieces should look like sewn together. It should be a square. So now what you're gonna do is take one of your top pieces and put it on the side pieces corner to corner, and then sew along that edge. That edge. My method here is to sew along the edge, and while the needle is in the fabric, I lift up the, I forget the name of that, the presser footer, the presser, something like that. Anyway, I lift that up so I can move the fabric around, and then once I get the fabric to the point where I can sew down the other side, I put it back down and then I sew along that side. It just feels like less work that way. So now I kind of ran into something here. The square wasn't able to reach the corner. So what I did was I just kind of like pulled it to make it match the corner, and then it formed that like little loop-de-loop part. I just sewed along the edge. Right here you can see that I didn't actually sew the loop-de-loop part down, but I ended up sewing it down right after I sewed along the line. Does that make sense? So if your corners don't match up, that's a way that you can get around that. And that's what it looks like without the loop-de-loop part being sewn. And then this is me just sewing down the loop-de-loop part because I felt like I should have. And you're basically going to sew down all the sides. What you're doing is sewing the sides to the top piece. And this is what it should look like. So now you're gonna turn it inside out, sort of, and get your other top piece, I guess this would be the bottom, and just repeat the process, match the corners up, and then sew along the edge. And when you get to the last piece, make sure you leave a little opening, enough to basically fit your hand in and then some. This is where you'll be putting the foam in at. So this is what it should look like. So now you're gonna wanna turn your pillow inside out. Now you're gonna get your foam and start to stuff the pillow. So my process is basically to fit the foam inside of the hole that was created and then sort of kind of tear the bag on the inside. You'll see what I mean in a second. If you've seen my other floor pillow video, you'll know what I mean. I'm pretty sure there's a more efficient way to do this, but yeah, this is the way I chose. If you have a funnel might be easier, but obviously I didn't learn from the last pillow that I made, and I didn't get a funnel, so this is just my method. So now once the bag is in there, find the little twist tie and twist it off, and then now you're just going to rip the bag up from the inside and start to pull it out. So now at this point, if you like how fluffy your pillow is, then you can go ahead and sew up the little opening. But I wasn't satisfied with how fluffy it was. This is me just testing it out. So I decided to add an extra bag in there. And I just repeated the same process. So once that's done with, take a look at your pillow, test it out, fluff it out, do whatever you have to do to see if that's how you want it to be. And if it is, which it was for me, just sew down the opening and then you're done. There you have it. Now you have a floor pillow, a seat cushion, or whatever you want to use it for. You can use it for your back, and it's super comfy and super easy.